Wrestling fans, can you feel it? The 9th annual Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive Cyber Fan Fest explodes into December. We can't bring you a live wrestling event in 2020, but we're bringing you a plethora of live interviews and virtual autograph signings to continue our tradition of updating Santa's GPS to find every kid's home. This Friday night, December the 11th, we're joined by the massive Warlord in studio. This Saturday, December the 12th, Native American Tatanka joins us for the toy drive for the very first time. Then this Sunday, December the 13th, it's a doubleheader of Future Star Superstars is the new Impact Wrestling World Champion Rich Swann joins us for the first time in studio in 8 years, along with up-and-comer Wheeler Yuta, who recently competed in the Ring of Honor Pure Title Tournament, along with competing here in Boston Wrestling MWF. John Cena Sr. will also have a live episode and is working the phone lines on the North Pole to try and make this year's drive even bigger. Individual autographs and an all-inclusive VIP package is available online now. If you order your signed photos before or during the live appearances, the superstars will sign them on the air and then mailed directly to your home. If you want a VIP package but you missed some of the superstars' live appearances, don't worry. They've signed enough photos and posters for us to ship to you by December the 19th. If that wasn't enough, we're working on items for our annual mega raffle where one lucky fan will walk away with a huge jackpot of prizes, all to benefit the toy drive and honor the memory of the late, great Paul Bearer, who helped myself and John Cena Sr. start this endeavor in 2012. Head on over to BostonWrestling.com to get your orders in now. Let's create smiles in 2020. But let's get into the Demolition era. January of 1987, the first TV tapings, Axe and Smash debut.
Yeah, it was, it was in the planning for about 3 or 4 months before that. And that was our first opportunity to actually get in the ring and, show the people our stuff. So, but we were in training and preparing the characters and the outfits and, the persona for a while before that.
Whose idea was the Demolition team?
Well, it was a collaboration of a number of people, primarily, Randy Colley and myself, and then when Barry got involved in it, he was a contributing factor too.
So this idea came to be when you were still doing the Super Machines?
I had finished up the Super Machines, and
they went through December of '86, if I remember right. Yep.
Right. And Barry you were in Charlotte at the time, right?
Crockett Promotions at that time.
So, for the fans at home that may not know this, Moondog was at Spot?
Rex.
Moondog Rex, Randy Cully. He actually was, you could call him the original Smash for 2 sets of TV tapings.
2 nights. 2 nights in a row.
Superstars and Challenge.
But unfortunately, people had known him. I mean, he had recognizable features because he had already been in the area for a while. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I knew that even though the characters were going to work, they weren't going to work with that configuration.
So what led to you to go on the manhunt, so to speak, to find a replacement so quick?
Well, I was given the option of continuing with Smash Superstar, which I had no problem doing, going back to Japan, or finding a new partner. And at first there was 3 or 4 people that were suggested that I talked to, and I thought, well, you're going to have the same problem you have with Randy. They had already been there. They were already recognized, already established. And then a couple other people's names came up, and Barry was one of them. So we met, I think we met in Charlotte, and we hit it off right away.
Really?
Yeah.
Barry, what led to you wanting to leave Crockett Promotions to come in and be a part of the Demolition team in WWF?
Well, when all this was going on with Randy and Bill, when they were doing the TV, I was down there with Ivan Koloff and Nikita Koloff, partners with them. So I didn't know anything that was going on. I didn't know what the Demolition was or anything, because when you're on the road every day there, all you're thinking about is that.
Oh, sure.
Just like the people up there didn't really know who Jim Crockett Promotions was.
And Demolition really wasn't established. It was only 1 set of TV tapes.
Exactly. So I got I was promised something from Jim Crockett Promotions, and it didn't happen. So it ended up being where I quit. And when I quit, I was out of a job for about a month. And Dave Hebner and Earl Hebner got me the contact to talk to Vince. And so I got a hold of Vince, and they sent me up there. Limousine picked me up and was in the office, and they made me sign a contract that I wouldn't tell anybody what was going on. And I didn't even know what they were going to offer me.
Really?
Yeah, and I was just excited to have a job up there, because that's everybody's goal, is to work for that company. And then they asked me, they said, did I know Bill Eadie? And I said, well, yeah, he's the Masked Superstar. He's one of the best wrestlers ever. And he said, would you like to be partners with him? And I said, I'd love to. And like Bill said, we've met earlier, and then finally they told me what it was going to be, and I said I would definitely do it, and that's how it all started. And I told him I needed some time off, because with Jim Crockett, we were on the road. Whew, I mean, I got maybe a day off a month or something, so I really needed a break. And he says, don't worry about it. He says, I'll put you under contract. It'll be about 6 months before we start anything. And then it was WrestleMania, was it 3 that was up at the Silverdome?
Yep.
Yeah, so we actually started right after WrestleMania 3 is when we did our first TV taping.
That was actually going to be one of my questions. Where were you guys during WrestleMania 3? Unfortunately, you weren't on the big card.
I was in Japan.
You're
I had already had a commitment. I had a continuing contract that didn't expire for a period of time when Barry was having some time off. And when Randy was gracious enough to step aside, I had other commitments in Japan. So I was back there. I think I had done 3 short tours in that time frame that, before we got together.
Was Randy Cully disappointed that he lost the opportunity to be Smash?
Oh, I would assume he was, yeah, but he was also given a promise, and Vince fulfilled that promise. I think he came back.
I think it was one of the Shadows.
One of the Shadows, yeah. So in that respect, I mean, I'm sure he wanted to, he knew that it was going to be successful, but he was also smart enough to realize that it wasn't going to be successful if he was the character. You can't have something supposed to be brand new and never been there before. They had no reference point with me with the Masked Superstar. And with Barry, he hadn't been there. So at Randy, it might have been successful, but I didn't have the feeling it was going to be.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.